Hey everybody, Phil from Two Forks Woodworks. I'm back with our giant speaker project. I wasn't able to show you everything in the first video, so I'm going to just show you the final few steps in this last video. So I got my big pipe put through here, and these are the different pieces that we're going to end up with. This top piece obviously is just so that we can mount it up into the ceiling or whatever you're going to mount it up into. This is sort of our middle speaker box, our smaller speaker box, and this is our speaker box for the larger speaker, the tweeter and the woofer, or whatever they're called now. So I didn't have a chance really to show you how this guy's made, but obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. You just, whatever your outside dimension is, you cut 45s on each side of every one of these, and then do the whole tape thing again. Put the outside edges nice and tight together, and then put the tape on them and just fold it up. Glue it up and fold it up. Works out great. Makes really nice tight joints. I didn't learn this till a little while ago, and I'm really happy that I did. Anyway, we also cut these 45s on the inside of these, because what we want to do then is take this piece and just sort of put it in there, and then you have a nice seamless look between the cherry and the maple. So that works out pretty slick. We had to drill these little holes in here because the screws on the back of the speaker were making contact, but no big deal. So we are going to now take these ridges off. I'm going to have to take them off at some point, so I'm going to knock them, probably just knock them all off with either my block plane or maybe a bigger plane. We'll see how it goes, but we got to get those all taken off, and then I'll probably take my belt sander and just plane this or sand this thing all down nice and smooth. You'll also see inside here that there's a hole that you need to put into the pipe, because this speaker has wires that need to connect down to like a little junction down in here. So we'll just run them down through that pipe, and then the main speaker wires coming from the system will come down through this pipe and end up down in here also. And I know you can buy speakers now that don't have wires. I know, my son tells me all the time, but then what would I have to do? I wouldn't be able to make these fun little boxes, so I'm making it anyway. And the final thing, before I go and belt sand all of this, I'm going to pop this guy in and get this thing glued in here. That way when we go to sand it, if we don't get this thing perfectly round, we'll shoot for it. But if we don't get it perfectly round, at least this front maple and this cherry will be all nice and uniform, and it'll be all nice and smooth. So I'll glue that in there before I start sanding. And I've got this speaker now just screwed into the back of this piece, so I'll take that off first before I glue it on, obviously. But that's that. That's how this is all going to go together, hopefully. And I will probably get this all sanded up in the next couple days. I don't think I really need to show you how that goes. That's just sanding. I think you all know how to do that. And then we'll throw some finish on it and see how it turns out. So that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll show you the finished product here in a day or two. See you. All right, so went to town with the belt sander, and my belt sander is only 4 inches tall, so left this little 1-inch ridge on here. So we're gonna have to take that off, and that's an easy thing to deal with. We'll take that off with a smoothing plane or whatever plane you happen to have. And this thing's coming out pretty well. What you want to look out for is, I'm trying to find it. I don't know if you can see that little shiny area right there. That's an area where the sander hasn't hit. So that means you've got a ridge here and a ridge here that the belt sander is touching, and it's not getting that. We want that all gone, because we don't really want to end up with any flat spots. But for the most part, we've just about got it, and it's looking like a circle, and close enough to a circle. What do we care? So to deal with that little ridge on there, just take whatever kind of plane you have. You got a little smoothing plane like this one, and just knock that little area off. Don't go too deep, because then you'll have to do a lot more sanding. But if you kind of just knock that little area off, and then at finish sanding, we'll take our little palm sander and just get that gone. So this little ridge is really not a big deal. Just whatever kind of plane you have, we'll knock her down. So that's where we are. I think we're going to be able to start putting a finish on this tonight. All right. we got her done. Hey, 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 cut it out. Stop it. Get off of there. Come on, stop it. Oh, come over here. Sorry. Shop cat got in the way there. So we got her done. And it came out pretty well. I'm happy with it. We've got to put a couple more coats of poly on it, but I just wanted to show you what the final thing turned out as. I could play it for you, but I think I'll probably get sued for playing music that's not mine or something like that. So I'm not gonna, but just trust me when I tell you that it sounds pretty good. Again, the cable from the speaker or from the stereo runs down through this pipe and into the back of this, so there's no wires hanging out the back or anywhere. Kind of slick. One thing I didn't mention is when you go to drill the holes for this middle box for this pipe, it's got to be perfect, you know, because you can't get the pipe to move side to side once it's in there. This box is just pretty much held in by friction, so you can't drill the hole real big and run the pipe through. You can, but you'll have to figure out a way to keep it in place then if you do it that way. So make sure that you're really accurate when you drill in the holes for this guy so that the pipe can go straight down through there. But this is it. You know, again, I use this contrasting wood. I like the way it turned out. You don't have to do anything. I probably, if I were making this for a customer and paying a little bit more attention, I would have the grain, I don't know if you can see it, running a little more parallel to the horizon, and I'd have this grain probably turned the other way so it matches the grain on the side over here. But I didn't do that, and that's okay. This is just in my shop. So I hope you guys like it. If there's anything I left out, because again, I have to make these videos kind of quick, let me know. Leave some comments and I'll see if I can fill you in. But I hope you guys give it a shot. It's kind of a fun project. If you have some old cruddy speakers laying around, turn them into this and have a good time with it. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.